Hi guys, Darth Deuce here with another Destiny McFarlane Toys figure review, and I'm going to be reviewing the last of the Vanguard Mentor figures, and we are going to end it off with Commander Zavala. I recently reviewed K6 first, and then I recently reviewed Ikora, so I reviewed both of them. You can check those out on my channel. I might link them in the description as well. We'll see. But they should be easy enough to find. But then we're going to take a look at Zavala last. He's the last figure of the Vanguard. He's the last figure of the wave if you don't count the exclusive. Take a quick look at him in the packaging because I've already covered this and there's not much difference. You got the Destiny logo and you've got the Hellspawn emblem code inside, which I will be showing you the code in this video because I've already used it on my Cade figure, so I don't need the other two. We got Vanguard Mentor Zavala figure fully displayed. It's pretty hefty packaging. He's kind of a big guy. We've got images of Zavala from the game, Bungie, Destiny logo, McFarlane Toys logo, all that jazz. Another promotion for the emblem. And on the back, he's number 44 in the color tops. I've already reviewed Cade and I've already reviewed Ikora, which are both great figures. And the last here, which we will be reviewing, is Zavala. And there's also the exclusive to this wave, or I guess. I don't know where it's exclusive to. I'm assuming Walmart. Either way, usually the exclusives are stupid hard to find for this line. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's crack open Zavala and take a closer look at the figure. Alright, now I have Zavala out of the packaging. And it's a really cool figure. I really like this one a lot. Like I've liked all the other ones. I think this one might be the most impressive sculpt and paint wise out of the bunch. It's probably the weakest in terms of articulation though. But we'll get into all that. But just very quickly, I will show you off the code here. So here's the code for the Hellspawn emblem. If you want it, go for it. Now that's out of the way, let's get on to the figure, which I'm really excited to talk about. And first on the head sculpt, and again, like I said with each and every other figure in the wave, head sculpt's really good. It really does look like Zavala. He came right out of the game. Yeah, I really like how this looks a lot. Again, I don't know if they use face print technology for these heads or they just hand paint them. If they hand paint them, they look really damn good for it. And even then, if they use the face print, then I'm happy that they did that. But the eyes look really good. The eyebrows aren't too bad. The markings around his face is really good. And I love the sort of purple fade they added around the eyes and the mouth. I think that's really good. And shows how he looks in the game quite well. And the rest of the figure is really nice. I love the armor design for Zavala. He's got all the clothing undersuit in like this burgundy red, which is cool. Then you got the big ass Titan armor, which is super cool. It's in this nice silver paint with a black wash applied to make it look gritty, which looks really cool. You've got some yellow and red like rectangles and paint apps on there, which might be showing he's a commander. I'm not 100% sure. Looks really good, and on the back looks great as well. You got a hole for weapon storage. You got the shoulder pad here, which has like this wrap around it, which is cool. And you got the big ass shoulder pad on the left, which looks really nice. Got that cool emblem, which is molded on there and painted, which looks great. And you got some sculpted scuffs and some painted scuffs on there, which is really, really nice looking. Really, I'm quite a big fan of how that looks. And then you got the arms, you got like the red undersuit there, and paint apps are a little sketchy on some spots of that, but it's not too bad. You got the forearm armor and the armor on the hands, looks really good. Same on both sides. And the straps are sculpted nicely. You do have trigger fingers sculpted on both hands, which is quite cool. You got this like belt or sash there, it looks nice. And you've got the Titan mark, which is really cool. It's quite a big one. Got the emblem there, it looks really nice in red. You got the yellow trim, looks good, and it's got a bit of a weathered wash on the bottom to make it look dirty, and you got the rips and the holes look really nice as well. And you got the leg armor, it looks really good. You got this little blue paint app, which is nice. The silver again looks really nice, and the sculpt in general looks fantastic. Little sloppy in the blue right there, it's not too bad. Yellow, or sorry, not yellow, red looks really good. Burgundy brownish looks great. And the boots in general look really good. And you do got a peg hole on his right foot. And he's overall a visually really good looking figure. McFarlane usually doesn't skip the beat when it comes to paint and mold, and they definitely didn't with the Zavala. You definitely feel like they really put effort to make them look really good. But as always, we got to ask the question when it comes to articulation: did they sacrifice articulation in terms of sculpt and detail? Somewhat. It's not as bad as other figures like the Commando Spawn figure that I have and reviewed a while back. That one was insanely compromised. This one's not as bad. You have ball joint in the head, so you can not really look up, but you can look down a decent amount, rotate, and you do get some pivot to work with, so that's pretty cool to make them look a bit more expressive, which is nice. Ball hinges at the shoulders, which are limited moving outwards because of the shoulder armor. They don't move out too far, but it's not too bad all the same. What is interesting, though, is there's enough gappage on the forearm armor. You can actually push in the arms a bit to go straight forward, which makes it a lot better for holding his gun, which is really good. Ball hinges at the elbows move to about 90 degrees, and ball hinges at the wrists, which move every which way you want them to. Interestingly, as opposed to the other two figures, Zavala actually has two torso joints. He's a ab crunch. He's like a ball joint at the armor, or the torso, so you can crunch forward and crunch back, as well as pivot a little bit and rotate there, and also has a swivel cut at the waist, so that's pretty cool. Hip hinge joints aren't too bad. They move out to about there, which isn't fantastic for forward kicking movement, but it's workable, and they move back a lot. And they also, the spread is quite good. I'm not going to force it too much, so I don't want to break the joints, but the spread's decent. You can get safely about there. If you force it further, you might be able to get it farther, but that's really good. He has ball hinges at the knees, which are serviceable. They don't move 90 degrees, but they're not terrible. And then he has ball joints at the ankles, and he just popped off. But you have ball joints at the ankles there, but the pivot is minimal. It's a bit, and then there's not much up and down movement, so there's a little bit there, but it's nothing too crazy. Articulation wise, he's not bad. He's not a statue. He definitely is enough to be considered an action figure, and you can definitely get him in some cool poses if you work with it. In terms of accessories, he comes with the display base that have come with all the figures from the wave, which is the D2 logo, and it's just a circle with a peg. I do like these, like I've said. They're nice. They're small, so you can display the figures with them toppling over, but they're not going to take up a bunch of room. I like that. And he also comes with an auto rifle, one of the Vanguard auto rifles. Again, I'm not sure which one this is, but it looks good. I like the sculpt. Paint's good for the most part. It's a little sketchy in some spots, but it's not too bad. You have the Vanguard logos and the paint scheme, which looks really good. You've got the weapon peg, which can be removed. This one's in there pretty tight, but there's that. And so you can plug it onto his back if you want. It goes in there and goes nice and flush onto his back like all the other figures in the wave, which is really good. And he can also hold it in either hand because they both have trigger fingers. What's nice is he's a trigger finger, but he also has decently pliable fingers, unlike some McFarlane figures, so you can get his hand in there pretty good. And he can hold the gun, which looks nice. And with some doing, you can definitely get him holding that with two hands. Whether you can get him into a good aiming pose is another story. I haven't tried it yet. You can definitely get him at a good at-rest pose. That looks good. I don't know if you can. Yeah, it's not bad aiming pose. You can have him turn his head and you can have him aiming the gun. You're not going to be able to get like ADS because the armor is just too big, but that's pretty good. That's serviceable. I like that a lot. Yeah, this figure's really, really good, honestly. I mean, I'm not too bummed out about the articulation. He's really quite cool. And just for comparison, I guess first just with the basic 6-inch figure, here's the Deadpool Marvel Legends. He's about the same height, maybe he's just slightly taller, but these guys are in the 6-inch scale. I thought they were supposed to be 7-inch scale figures, but they are much more 6-inch than they are 7-inch. So that's actually pretty cool. I prefer that. And displaying comparing him with the rest of his Vanguard, here is Ikora, and here is Cade. And they look, and I'll get that in a better spot, they look really good together. I really like the scaling, and I really like these figures. I have to say, mad props to McFarlane Toys. They did a great job on this wave. I'll give my quick overview, I guess, of the wave right now, but all these figures are actually really good. It makes me really happy. that these are so good. Or at least they are to me. They are you'll have to see for yourself, but I really actually love these figures. They are cool. They look great. You can pose them decently. I'm happy to have these. I'm hoping we're gonna get more. I hope we're gonna get more character-specific figures from McFarlane, like Osiris would be cool and whatnot, but I don't know if that'll happen. But if I was to rank them, just because of my bias, Cade 6 is my favorite character from Destiny, so I'm going to have to say Cade 6 is my favorite from the wave. Zavala is a very close second, and Ikora is my third, but she's not, just because she's third doesn't mean she's bad. She's still a really good figure. She just added these ones. I prefer these two over Ikora. But overall, Zavala is really great, but they're all really great. If there's only one you're set on, then fine. It's a great figure. Pick it up. But if you can get all three, I would highly recommend picking up all three. The wave is great, and all three of them just look really good together. In an action figure collection, even if you're just a gamer, you want just a nice just a Destiny display for your gaming setup. Again, it's really good for that as well. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments down below about these figures, and I will see you all in the next video. Thanks.